kick in. So, all right, we are live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us, everyone, for another exciting episode of Hang Out With. And tonight we have Curtis from, he's there and he's gone already. That was the shortest guest I've ever had. Oh, he's back from A Poor Millionaire. So, everybody, check out his channel tonight. Check out his TikTok and check out his Instagram. So, everybody, any questions for Curtis tonight? Just throw them in there. Glad you can join us, and let's have some fun tonight here. So he's got some technical difficulties going on tonight, so we're going to do the best that we can. This is going to be fun. I can tell already. This is going to be awesome. So we'll hear you. I don't know how much, we can't guarantee how much of you we're going to get the chance to see tonight, but we'll definitely hear you, Curtis. So let's get the ball rolling with a few questions for you. So when and why did you start as an entrepreneur? Sorry.
Oh no, I've never had Stream do this before. I've been on a couple of these, and it just keeps kicking me out, and I'll just put right back in.
Yeah, we'll make the most of it. We'll make the most of it. So thanks for joining us. Thanks, Jose. Everybody else, all good. Dave,
it wasn't as bad just 2 minutes ago. Give me a minute before it kicked me out.
Sorry. Oh, this is gonna be good. All right, so hey, let's try. Let's get that first question again. When and why did you start as an entrepreneur? Let's hear the early beginnings, Curtis. Let's hear it.
Well, I started. I started working for a wholesale computer business, and I basically had a plan of starting my own business. So basically, I learned every single thing I possibly could at that business,
right.
And then figured out the ways that he wasn't really hitting the market right. And I started my own wholesale computer business, and it grew into a really big company, bigger than the company I used to work for. We had almost 50 employees.
Wow.
But eventually that company went under. But before it gone under, luckily I was smart enough to already be investing in real estate. I already owned my first 8-plex. I already owned a couple houses. I was already off to the races as far as real estate. And
nice.
I wanted to do real estate. Luckily, when my main company went under, which was the end of the world for me at the time. I mean, I lost like 100 pounds, and I was walking around like Steve Jobs, and just like,
Ouch.
I mean, it's
You
work 10 years on your baby, and you put everything into it, 80 hours a week, and all your friends work there, your best friends, your partner, and then you lose it all. It's like losing a kid, basically.
Absolutely. When did you start that company?
We had 2 of them. One of them went under, and then we did it again. So we were doing it about 10 years. So it, probably around 2000.
Got it. Okay. And so you had it for how many years when you brought up to 50 employees, like you were saying? How long did that take for you?
When we first started out, I mean, we were actually working out of our house that we rented together, and we had employees there. We actually, during 9/11, we were all sitting in our office selling our computer parts, and then 9/11 happened, and I was like, okay, so we'll watch this for 30 minutes, and then we'll go back to work. Well, no, we all pulled our chairs in there. It's like, all right, that's it. We're not working today. It's over. I give up.
Yeah.
And that's like the only day I've ever let my employees at that company not work.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
But we built that business, and then that one went under. And then we built another huge one. It was even bigger than that. It just takes time. You do anything for 10 years, and you can build it into a small little empire.
Yeah.
And we had a huge warehouse. We shipped all over the United States. We were doing, a couple $1 million a month. I mean, it was a lot. It was a big business. I was a millionaire. My partner was a millionaire, and then I lost it all. But like I said, I had already started accumulating money and projects and business and real estate. And the transition was like, well, I guess I'm just transitioning into this. And I could have already started another business, but luckily, like I said, the best thing that happened to me was when it happened, it forced me into the market of real estate, which is perfect timing because that was 2008. And that's a combination of the reason why we went under was because of 2008 and all the crap that was going on with real estate, which meant the real estate prices were super low. And in downtown Dallas, there's a place called Fair Park, which is the horrible part of town. It's the hood. It's the scariest part of town, but it's still downtown Dallas. And they had houses down there for $10,000, and I felt like there's no way you can go wrong on a 10,000. Well, I'd buy it for 10,000. I'd put 10,000 in it, and I'd rent it for about $500 a month back then. And I was like, I don't feel like there's any way that I can go wrong on this, you know. And I was like, this is risky, and it was a risk, but it paid off because all those houses now are headed towards 100,000. And I bought a bunch at 10,000. I bought a bunch at 20,000. I bought a bunch at 30,000. I bought a bunch at 40,000, and I bought some buildings, and I just kept buying, and I just kept flipping my money because it's so, I mean, when you're getting that much rate of return on your investment, when you're looking at 40% return, it's real easy to get that 40% and go right back in and buy more and build your business.
Yeah, no kidding. Absolutely. Wow. And do you still hold on to, have you held on to any of those units anymore?
Okay. I don't like selling anything because especially
That's
now
cool.
that I've seen my houses go from 10,000 to 100,000. I've sold a couple of them. I had one or two buildings that I just basically had to sell because one of them was just kind of falling down. It was really, and I knew the land was worth more than the building. So when I bought it, I knew the land was worth more than the building. So what I did was I sold it for double what I bought it for. I bought it for 100 and I sold it for 200. And that made it, that was like, I mean, I've sold two buildings actually that way. I bought another sixplex for 100 and I ended up selling it at 100. So, and then I take that 100 and immediately go buy more real estate and buy, 5 more houses at 25,000 each. And boom, now a couple years later, I've got 30 houses and I've got, duplex. I have 50 units total.
50 units total that you're all long-term renting.
Right. And
that's amazing. Good for you, Curtis. That's great.
Yeah.
Love it. Love hearing that story. All right. So you're doing your computers wholesale business that you had learned from the company that you were working for. How did you learn to be an investor and to create your real estate business? How did you learn that?
Well, I bought all the books and I bought all the tapes. And back then we didn't have YouTube. I wish we had. Oh my God, I'd be so much richer now, really.
Oh, no kidding.
If I had the opportunity to watch and learn off of YouTube, I'd be probably, I don't know, probably 100 times richer than I am now because I didn't have, you had to watch, listen to the tapes back then and you had to watch the video, that was it. I mean, or go to the seminars, and the seminars were always like, no money down, get rich quick. And a lot of them were just fly by night where it gets you all excited about nothing. And they're like, hey, we're making a bunch of money, but they're not really, those opportunities are out there. But when you've got 1,000 guys going after them, knocking on those doors, they're extremely difficult to get. I mean, you need a solid opportunity. You need to look for deals, but you can't be 1 in 1,000 lined up for that deal because then there's no deal because if there's 1,000 people looking for it, it's going to raise that price and raise that barrier of entry.
Yeah, definitely. Dave, you're probably right. There probably still are homes that you can buy for $10K in parts of Michigan. I agree with you on that. That's for sure. No kidding. And would you recommend that there too, Curtis? I mean, if somebody's interested in actually getting into real estate, looking at the Michigan area?
Well, whatever the rent is. I mean, if the rent, the problem with low income areas is people come into your houses and steal your stuff. They steal your wiring. So that's one advantage. It's one advantage that I came up with is basically I have a full-time crew and we can rewire an entire house within a day or two. Just don't tell anyone. You're supposed to do other things to wire them. But that's one of the problems because if a person that is on drugs, I'm trying to be nice, comes in and cuts your wire and steals it all out of there. Well, a lot of times that'll cost you about $10,000 to put all that wiring back in. That'll put you out of it. That'll put you out of business. And they'll hit the same house over and over and over. So you just got to be really careful on low income hood housing and be prepared for things like that and be prepared for serious headaches that are just. I've had one house I've rewired it 5 times.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and we've actually run the wire underneath the floor. So we run it under the house so that it's it's harder for them to steal the wiring out of it. I think the guy who's stealing the wiring lives in the neighborhood, probably across the street, and whenever he sees it go empty, he sneaks over there and cuts it on both ends, and boom, he's got it. And I've got to rewire the whole thing. So that's the biggest problem about like buying. As long as the rent, as long as you're getting a good, solid, when you're talking low income neighborhood and that bad of an area, I would look at like you need to be 30 or 40% return based on your rent, on how much you have invested total.
Yeah, definitely.
So, because that 20%,
losses.
The 20% is right. It's for the headaches and is for paying people to fix the wiring. And the other thing is just go ahead and yank out all the copper plumbing immediately, because it's going to be gone anyway, and put in the plastic, and then you're good on that. They're not going to come after that.
Smart tip. I like it. Really smart tip. That's great. Okay, so how much further along you can keep growing your real estate business? Does that just keep continuing? Anytime you find a deal, you're just going to pick one up and keep it growing?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do once I start getting some money flowing. If the problem is like every time what happened to me, and unfortunately, if I did it all over again, I'd do it a little differently. What happened to me is I was buying the houses all the way up to about 50 or 60,000. Then I stopped buying them because they kept going up, and I was like, oh, they'll come back down, and they never came back down. I say if I just constantly been buying them like I should have been doing, and I should have leveraged. I didn't do any leverage. I paid cash for everything. So It's like I have only one mortgage. So I own everything outright. And that's the other thing is like I can actually go and get mortgages and start leveraging that money and start buying businesses. And I've thought about that, and that's probably the next major move. But obviously once you start leveraging, then you get into the risk. The risk is going to be higher for me, and I've got to make sure I've got that solid rate of return on the area. Really, what would be great, unfortunately for me, but bad for everyone else, would be a huge downturn in the market, and then I'd go leverage it out and start buying again.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so what's your bigger plan then with your YouTube channel then as well? We were talking about that earlier. So you want to start making that into more of a some residual income there for you as well. What's your plan?
Well, I want to take and treat YouTube like a business, and that's going to, I've started a couple companies and they were making money, but they're not scalable. That's the biggest thing is scalability. Now YouTube has a hard barrier to entry, but it has a huge level of scalability, and the scalability is the number one thing that you want in business, is so you can if you really want to make that Lamborghini money and you want to get a yacht, you're going to have to be scalable. You're going to have to be able to have more than one location, or do business with large number of customers, which is the reason why I picked YouTube, and the reason why I'm trying to build I've actually had a YouTube channel and it was doing really, really well, but I had to, it was a political channel, and I did all the math, and I was on my way, and I had a bunch of viral videos. And I had like one video went 80,000 organically.
Nice.
Yeah, it was taken off. I could have made it happen. And a lot of the guys who were around back when I had that are now, their channels went to 300. But a couple of them have just recently have been terminated for being political.
Really?
So that's why I was like, I'm not going to spend the next 5 years or 10 years building a channel and then have it terminated because it's political. And then YouTube will put you back on.
Yeah, no kidding. So how long ago did you shut that one down?
It's actually like 2 years ago. I ran it for like a year or less than a year, and then I realized they demonetized me, and I was like, this just isn't worth it. Too many people are going to get blocked, shut down, whatever it is, banned, and I didn't want to deal with that. I was like, and then I saw, and I hate to do a shout out for Stefan, but I saw Grand Stefan's numbers, and I'm like, look, I am in real estate. I'm actually, at that time, I was richer than Grand Stefan. Now, obviously, he's pulling ahead of me with that $1 million a year that he's making. I was like, I can talk, I can do all that. I've already done a YouTube channel. I have all the experience in investing. There's no reason why I shouldn't do a financial channel, and there's no reason why I can't make. And that's the other thing is I already have all my bills paid, and I'm basically retired, so I can just focus all my time on this channel. it's going to interfere with my, going to the lake and hanging out with all the girls. But other than that, and then I can do my moon. This is my moon shot to get me into the, become a rich millionaire.
Good for you. Good for you. Why the name of Poor Millionaire?
Well, because, and it's blinking again. Well, because I don't feel like it's like I don't have a Lamborghini. It's like I would figure if you told me like 20 years ago that I'd be worth what I am today, net worth, and it's like over $3 million. If you told me 20 years ago I'd be net worth over $3 million and I wouldn't have a Lamborghini, I would have told you you're an idiot. I would have said everybody over $3 million in net worth, is driving around a Lamborghini. And it's like, and yeah, I could afford a Lamborghini, but that would be like the only thing, that my only, basically my yacht is the yacht payment is but it would be like a used Lamborghini, and,
Nothing wrong with that as long as it's a Lamborghini, right?
Yeah, but then the problem is like you have a Lamborghini and then you live like I live in a normal house in a normal neighborhood. I mean, it's just silly. It's just silly to buy a depreciating asset like a Lamborghini that costs like $200,000 that sits in your garage. So you're going to drive once a week, and you live in a normal neighborhood where I have the only Escalade in the entire neighborhood. No one else drives an Escalade in my neighborhood. That tells you it's not poor. It's upper middle class. They're nice houses. Everybody has nice brand new cars, but but it's just silly. It's silly to have a Lamborghini and live in a $500,000 house. You know what I mean? It's just like that's why I consider it. You're a poor millionaire. You're not.
You're a poor millionaire. I like it.
Yeah, well, because you got these guys who like they make like $100,000 a year. And they go around spending the money like they're a millionaire, and they look like they're a millionaire, but they're not really. And then you've got a lot of guys like there's probably a couple of millionaires on my block who are worth a couple $1 million, but they don't look like it. They're just normal guys who've been investing, who've not spent their money, who've invested wisely, and just over time they've accumulated money. And that's basically where I'm at. It's like it wasn't get rich quick. It was it did happen rather quickly. But at the same time, though, it's like I've been working hard. I worked for 10 years become a millionaire the first time, and then flipped that over and started working in real estate, and it added up. So it's like people always like a lot of people always think that $1 million and I can retire. I don't think so. It's just especially if you're young. If you really want to retire and you can live really modestly, then yeah, you could retire on $1 million. But if you want to actually drive a Lamborghini or a fancy car and you want to have a boat and you want to go on fancy vacations, $1 million is just not going to cut it.
No kidding. Absolutely. So let's talk about your boat for a second. How long ago did you get your yacht?
Well, it's my second yacht. Actually, right now I own 2 yachts. I own my old one. And actually, like I should do a video on it because my old yacht I bought for like only like $25,000, and I paid cash for it. But then I really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends. So, and I had extra money, so I kept putting more and more money into this boat, and it got all the way up to about $100,000 in that boat. But it's like, it's got the stereo system costs more than the boat. But it's my old one is amazing. It's really, really good. I'm trying to sell it right now for like $40,000. Hopefully it'll sell this summer. And then, but like when I went to get this other boat, I didn't figure I was going to get it this year because as a entrepreneur and business person, my taxes are as low as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I try to, I write off everything, and depreciation on real estate makes, the banks, they won't give me a loan. They just won't give me a loan on my house. I've tried to refinance my house. That's the other reason why it's been hard for me to go out and get more real estate is because I don't have any income, or I don't have a lot of income. So it's like I own $3 million worth of real estate, but I can't get a loan on my own house that I already have a loan on. It's just my interest rate's high.
Yeah.
So I didn't figure they were going to give me a loan on my boat. And what I was doing is I was just testing to see, okay, what's my roadblock to stop me from getting the next yacht. And I was going to put it on my wish list for my 5-year goal or something like that, or 3-year goal. And I called the bank, and the bank said, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, yeah, I don't have any income. And they're like, no, we can do it. And I was like, damn it. And I was like, well, I'll just work a little harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So J-Mac, who you've been done a stream with before in the past, got a quick question for you. You notice a ring on your finger? Never talks about his wife, or does he have any kids too? Does he care? And does she care about the boat girls? There you go. There's a few questions for you.
Yeah, those are, well, I got all that. I don't talk about it much just because I got a lot of friends that are, like, you got certain groups of friends. Let's put it that way. You got friends you hang out with at the lake, and then you got, then you have family, and then you got YouTube. So it's just different areas of stuff that you kind of like don't talk about certain things. Like, I don't put my kids on social media or ever talk about them, just because like it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. I'm just old fashioned. You know, I feel like you know, just don't like to promote that. I mean, maybe in the future, if I feel like it'll get me more views, I might start, you know, because I know Kevin, what is it? Meet Kevin. He has his kids on there and stuff, and it's super cute. But I think the viewers that I'm going for more of the party guys and more of the flashy guys. So I'm trying to promote to my audience. My audience don't want to see kids; they want to see girls on yachts.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's just who I'm pointing at this now. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind and go, no, I need to be more family man oriented. It just depends. But like my marketing strategy is to go after the TikTok and the lifestyle, and then get 1 million followers on TikTok and then funnel them into YouTube. And the whole idea of the Poor Millionaire is like, hey, you want the lifestyle, you want to be you want to be a millionaire. Well, first you have to move up the ladder of success. So
got it. What motivates you?
That's a good question. I think motivation is hard. It's one thing is like, once you get enough money to pay your bills and you don't actually have to go to work, things change. I mean, that's one of the things that happened to me when I got all my real estate, and then the houses became too expensive for me to buy more. I basically retired. I mean, it's like, and then I just watched YouTube for like 2 years and became a conspiracy fanatic, and, you know, a hermit. And that's
Really?
about the time. Yeah, that's about the time I was like, you know, I got to get out of the house, and that's about the time I bought a boat. I was like, I got to do something besides watch YouTube and conspiracy theories, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I love conspiracy theories. I still do, but, you know, it's like when you've been watching them for, you know, 3 weeks straight, you start getting a little weird, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Get out of the house. You're right. Get out of the house and stop watching them. So what do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur, Curtis?
I love making money. I mean, when I first started my business, like I didn't even want to take vacations. I just wanted to be in the office with my sales guys, and I just wanted to make money. I mean, it's like I lived and breathed. I mean, I worked every day except Sunday. And the only reason why I didn't work Sunday is I couldn't con my salespeople into coming in on Sunday. I had to give them 1 day off.
Nice.
I'd pay them to come in on Saturday and work extra, and I'd sell TVs. I sold LCD televisions or plasma televisions on Saturday as a side business, and I just wanted to make money. I love the hustle.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Once that business went under, then like my whole life changed, and then the hustle kind of went away. And now I'm going to try to get the hustle back with YouTube and content and stuff. And that's one of the things that I kind of burn out a little bit, you know. And I know you guys have seen my videos go down in the frequency because I hired an editor and I was totally gung ho. And basically, I was putting out one video every single day, and I just so few views. I never had one video where it took off organically and got me new viewers, except for like the Star Wars one. And then on top of that, it's like my editor even messed up that video. You know, he made it, and then I was upset about that. And then I had to fire my editor because he just wasn't listening. But I just hired a new editor, and I'm getting back in the zone. Plus, the other thing is like my contest has been working really, really well. So I've been getting subscribers, and I haven't really been working that hard. So that's been really fun, not working super hard. So now I'm getting I've hired a new editor. She should be starting soon. When she starts, and I'll start rolling out the content. I got a bunch of new ideas. Plus my TikTok is taking off. Plus once summer gets here, the show should really start. I mean, it should be fun.
Good. Yeah. No kidding. When you get that boat back out there, sounds like fun. Everybody, check out his TikTok. Check out Curtis's Instagram. Check out his channel. Subscribe, guys. We're all community here. Let's everybody grow together. So, did you ever have a mentor?
Back when I was a sales rep, I think the biggest thing that got me to the next level was Brian Tracy. Was listening to Brian Tracy tapes on success, the psychology of success, and being great, becoming a successful person. My dad helped me a lot too when I was younger, as far as like basically because my dad was basically an entrepreneur, not a good entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur. I mean, he basically just started one business after another, never made anything successful, but he's just never working a real job. So I didn't have a role model that got up every day and went to work for 8 hours at the same job for the last 30 years. So that wasn't my childhood. My childhood was, we just started a new business, and then like 4 months later we started another new business. So it's like I was totally, and then the psychology of an entrepreneur, of feast or famine, and just, so my father helped a lot with that. So I do owe a lot of my success. I think everybody owes most people owe a lot of success to their fathers. Our parents really help us out. But as far as like an actual mentor, I guess the guy whose company I was working for way back when, he was, you learn from everybody, but I learned a lot from him. He helped me grow as a human being, because when you're young and you're dumb and you think you know everything, and and you're talented, that's the worst. You got the talent, and you're the most talented guy in the company, then you're a hothead, and then you're always causing problems with everybody. So he helped cool me down and get my people skills up, which helped me when I built my company.
Good. What was the most interesting business you've been involved in? Was it your first one, you would say, or is it more the real estate side?
That's hard to say. I've done like so many different businesses. I've done
or any of the other ones then too.
But as far as the one that I'm most interested, I mean, I'd rather just do real estate. I love real estate. I'd like to do higher end real estate. I'd like to get away from there's two parts there, because the easiest way to make money, guys, is to go places no one else wants to go.
Yeah.
Because that's where the opportunity is. There's not a lot of doctors and lawyers that want to invest in the hood. And it's a dangerous place to be. And if you don't pay attention, you could get in a lot of trouble down there. So but the flip side of that is like, I'd like to be able to drive my Escalade to work instead of an old truck. It's like you're a millionaire driving around an old truck, and it's like, I'm not Sam Walton. It'd be nice to go to a nice office, and it'd be nice to sell nice real estate. It'd be nice to grow an actual real estate company that's where I can drive a nice car to work. That's my long-term goal.
Sounds pretty simple, but hey, high risk, not so easy.
To sell high-end real estate, man, that's, you're going to make a lot, but it costs a lot. I mean, that's multi-million-dollar deals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done
sure.
Businesses. I've started so many businesses, and some of them it's just like, and it's not that the business failed. It's just I had another business that was going, that was making more money, and I was like, there's just no sense. You have to do what's logical, even if this is a great opportunity, but you're like, it's just not making the money. If I invest my time with this other business, it'll take off. I've done roofing business. I've done construction business. I've done. I did an arcade. I did a gaming center where the kids sit and play on computers. I've done a retail computer store. I've done a wholesale computer store. I'm sure there's a couple more in there I've forgotten. Oh, I did my wife's graphics design company. We built that up, and we had a bunch of people working for that. and then we kind of slowed it down just because it just wasn't producing the money. So basically, I've done so many different businesses, and then obviously YouTube. I could say you guys have to think of YouTube as a business. You need to treat it like a business, and you need to treat it like it's an investment. So if you want to grow, you're going to have to put money into it and grow it. You can't just take money out of it, and you can't be like, okay, well, I'm making $30,000 a year on YouTube. Now I'm just going to quit my job and I'm just going to take that $30,000 and then that's it. Because guess what? It's going to be really tough for you to move to the next level if you're making that money and you're not investing that money, you're not spending that money, you're not getting. Most like there was an interview with Elon Musk where he talked about how he you got to spend that. When you make that money, you got to get another employee. Always get another employee to build your business and diversify. And that's one thing I see that Graham Stephan didn't really do. He kind of got lucky and he kind of fell into I'm not lucky in the sense that he became successful. It's just that he didn't treat like this like a business when he started. It was a hobby for him. And he didn't develop all of his time to it. So he only had one channel and he just happened to go viral. And then he happened to start making all this money. And then it dawned on him, wait a minute, this is a real thing. This is a real opportunity. I need to take this seriously. And I've got to start treating this like a business. Now he's starting to move those levers into this is a business. I need to get people to work for me and I need to expand. Because when you're talking that level of capital coming in, you should have a personal assistant. You should have an editor. I mean, he was editing all his own videos. He's cleaning his own house. I mean, he's like living in a little tiny house and he's just not expanding. He's not building. If you want to be successful, that's one of the keys to building a business is you need to hire people, train people, hire people, and train more people. That's how I grew my original business is we just, I had my brother work for me. I had my best friend work for me. Then we hired another friend and another friend and another friend. And then pretty soon, we're just building and building and building. And we didn't just because you're making some money, you don't just rip that money out. You reinvest it. That's how you get the easiest way to build any business is just simply live below your means and reinvest your money and just build.
Yeah. Keep it growing, so many people just, don't actually take a look at the fact of like, you have to find great people, like spend the time and the money to find great people, build that team and grow it that way. It makes a huge difference. It really does. There's no way you're going to grow it by you doing, wearing all the hats and doing everything yourself. You just can't. It's impossible, right? For so many hours in the day. So good words of advice, Curtis. Great words of advice. So what is your plan then for your YouTube channel over the next couple of years?
Well, I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking at this like a business. I'm not looking at it just as specifically as just A Poor Millionaire, this one channel. I want to do more than one channel. And I don't want one channel with 1 million subscribers. I'd rather have like 4 or 5 channels with 200,000 subscribers each.
Right.
Same amount of views. And the thing is, YouTube scares me to death with how they change the way they do things. I mean, because, next week they could be like, oh, we're not doing financial videos anymore. We're doing this. And they can just do whatever they want. And suddenly you lose all your money. So it's like having all your eggs in one basket. I feel like that's not a business. That's a hobby. That's a hobby you're getting paid a lot of money for. So I want to expand out, start other channels, and really treat it like a business opportunity. But A Poor Millionaire is going to always be my main channel because right now, all you guys listening, you already know this, but the number one payout right now, as far as I know, unless I'm wrong, please correct me, is financial. It's the highest rate of pay per click for advertising for revenue. So, I mean, why would you not? If you are knowledgeable in finance and you can talk on camera and you have a good screen presence and you've got extra time, you should you should see if this clicks for you and you can make money at it. And if look at how many of these guys who've only got 300,000 subscribers. And I basically financial channel, the way I figured it out, and tell me if I'm wrong, whatever your subscriber is, how much money you're making. Because Graham Stephan was making $1 million a year and he had 1 million subscribers. So if they've got 300,000 subscribers, how much money are they making? They're making 300,000.
Yeah. Big bucks. Tell me something that you're extremely proud of that you've accomplished.
Well, I don't.
A few things.
That's a tough one. The reason why it's tough is just because like I don't really go around telling people. I mean, on YouTube, I tell people because obviously I'm trying to encourage people. I'm trying to motivate people, but a lot of times I like to underplay. That's one of the reasons why I use the word a poor millionaire, because I wanted to tell people, hey, I do have $1 million, but it's not as rich as you think it is. All right. And that's why I like to underplay accomplishments, because I feel like it's just like, you don't want to be in that high tax bracket, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also don't want the wrong kind of people looking at you thinking that, because when you got friends, it's like when you have friends and you're sitting around a table with your friends and your friends all know you're a millionaire. Well, they're going to think you're going to pick up the check and they're going to start asking, well, why don't you just buy dinner? You're the richest guy here. And it's like, is that really fair? Exactly. So I'm not, it's like I have accomplished a lot of things. It's hard, obviously becoming, and some of it's been luck, hard work plus luck. So I can't really say that, that I did anything special. I just followed the rules and I was at the right place at the right time and I worked hard and I was lucky enough to have the free time and the money to make it happen. So obviously the biggest accomplishment in my life obviously is the 50 units. It's because it pays my bills and it's made me a millionaire. So that's my number one accomplishment. But if I meet people, I don't want to tell them that. I don't lead with that. I don't, and I always try there. I used to, when my old company, I'd go out with my sales reps and the girls would always walk up to me and I'd be wearing nice clothes and there'd be all my sales reps around me and they'd ask me, hey, what do you do for a living? And I tell them I'm the janitor,
Yeah.
Because it just, tooting your own horn is just not something. It's not a smart move unless it's not. It isn't bragging if you did it, but don't do it. Don't brag unless it's necessary for information purposes to motivate others, but not to make yourself feel good and not to boast.
Yeah, there was a guy that used to do our phone installations with one of my businesses years ago. And he used to drive this beat up station wagon with all his equipment, the old phones in there, everything. And we felt so sorry for the guy. We'd pay him fast. We always looked after him. We gave him as much work as we possibly can. 2 years later, driving down the street with a beautiful, beautiful red Ferrari GT308. So he's like, Damien, he's like, oh, I'm busted. Like he knew right away, right? The gig was up. So we carried on with him, obviously, like a great guy. But I loved that. I just pulled him over and shook his hand. Like, you got us. That was fantastic. Good move. Yeah. So always downplayed everything. What was one of your greatest challenges, Curtis? Was it bouncing back? Or was there something else along the way, along your journey? That was a big challenge for you?
That really wasn't that hard. I feel like once you've accomplished, once you've done the impossible, it's easy to do it again. But pretty much anybody who's successful, if they run on hard times, they're going to be successful again. It's just a matter of time, and that's not the hard part. I think the hard part is seeing something that you really love, like when you've got to look at. That's one of the reasons why I got into real estate, is because real estate isn't going to go under. And when you get a business, there's a huge possibility you're going to lose that business, and you're going to invest huge amounts of time and money and emotions into that business. And then when it goes under, it can take you with you. It can take you with it. It almost took me with it. I mean, it's just like you really, there's no other way to say it. I mean, you become suicidal. I mean, when you just can't eat, you can't sleep. It's like a part of you died when every single thing, your entire life is wrapped in that business. And it's your obsession.
That was your child.
Yeah. That's the hardest part. It's one of the reasons why I'm in real estate, is because real estate's never going to go away. They're never going to houses are never going to go out of style. So you're always, places for people. I would promote that. If you're going to get into business or services, you need to get into something that is never going to go away. People needs that people have are never going to go away. Food, shelter, all the basics, plumbing, construction, roofing. These are the things, like all the millionaires I know deal with something that is solid like that. Obviously, we hear about all the guys who got made $1 billion on Snapchat or something, but that's the 1 in a billion guy that does that. Most millionaires own a roofing company, or they own a construction company, or they own real estate.
Yeah, definitely. Read a lot of books?
I used to read a ton of books. But then once YouTube came online, I basically started just watching YouTubes, and I read I keep track of a lot of different websites. But unfortunately, most of it's, just like political or conspiracy. Unfortunately, not as much self-help as I would like. YouTube, I do the self-help and the real estate investing. There's so much information out there, guys. It's like you could just watch YouTube videos and then make YouTube videos off the YouTube videos that you watched and have a great channel. And as long as people like you and you're personable and you speak clear and precise, and you're that's one of the things that I learned. I was like, what makes these guys successful? What is the core thing that you can do on YouTube? And I think the core thing that makes people successful is actually caring about other people and actually trying to improve their life. I feel like that's one of the key principles with Graham Stephan. At least he comes across as he cares about other people, and he's generally trying to help them. And in order to come across that you do care about people and you're generally trying to help them, the easiest way to do that is actually care about people and generally try to help them. So, that is a key. That is one of the major keys to success. If I give you anybody a piece of advice, is offer, care about people and try to help them. And that's how you're going to become successful. And on this platform for sure. It's the number one. And it's also fun and rewarding. It's like once you start getting into that thought pattern of caring about people and trying to help them and trying to improve their life, then it's rewarding on top of that. So it's rewarding emotionally to be supportive of other people and help them. And if you can actually change people's lives, I think that's actually a pretty good thing,
Yeah, positive. The ROI is huge on that. It's a great feeling. It's a fantastic feeling, right? So, like I always say, life's tough, man. Life's tough. You can, help out. We all got to band together and help one another, and whatnot. If you can give back somehow with information, Curtis, you've got and whatnot. Obviously, you are and whatnot. I mean, it makes a huge difference. Positivity is definitely, we need more of that on the planet. So, which investors or entrepreneurs do you follow?
Well, obviously, pretty much a lot of people I'm watching or a lot of people that are watching this YouTube, I have their channels up. I watch their channels. Obviously, I watch all the successful ones, and I learn from them. And obviously, the Elon Musk thing with Tesla, I've basically thought Tesla was going to go under all this time, and I talk shit about Tesla. Excuse my language.
It's a family show. It's okay.
Yep. And I try to keep that track. But anyway, and eventually now it's looking like Tesla is actually going to accomplish some of the things that seem impossible, that are total technological disruptions. So I mean, if he accomplishes even one of these things, they're totally going to change our world. And he's going to be he's already a billionaire, but he's going to be one of the richest men in the world. Yeah. So right now, I'd say if he gets, like, let's say 3 different things, he gets self-driving working, he'll be the richest man in the world. If he gets the boring company making tunnels and all that working and up, he'll be the richest man in the world. If he gets solar roofs up and working, where we all have Tesla solar roofs, he'll be the richest man in the world. Any one of those 3, and it's all him. Just those 3 things are the huge technological disruptors. And that's just 3 of them. He's got probably, I mean, if you go through all the other ones with actual electric cars, electric car market, all the other different companies that he's running, the guy's going to be the richest guy in the world, and he's going to be. And if you actually listen to what he's saying and some of the stuff, it's actually pretty impressive. Even though he talks really weird, like when you listen to it, he's like the best. One of the things I heard from him that I really liked is he said the best part is no part, and I was like, wow. That is. I mean, and you look at the car. What is the Model 3? It's got just the screen. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Less gadgets and gizmos. And it's like the best part is no part because then it doesn't break, right? And then it doesn't wear out. So
keep talking Tesla. Ryan is loving this. He's just loving hearing the Tesla talk. Hey, Ryan.
And like I said, I don't own a Tesla. I mean, I do have a Cybertruck on order, but the main reason why I bought the second it came out, I bought one, or I put my $100 down, was because Graham Stephan, when his channel took off, the number one thing that he did, the number one thing that took his channel from, he was like at 300 or 400 or 500, took him to 1 million, was his Tesla video. When he got his Tesla car, his number one video that spiked his growth was Tesla. So I was like, all right, I'm buying the Cybertruck, and when it comes out, it'd be perfect for my growth pattern because it's like about 2 years from now. So I'll have enough. I'll be right where he was at with about 200 to 300,000, right ready for the spike. So it makes perfect sense. So, and I'm not a Tesla fanboy, like I said. I mean, I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe it's possible, right?
Elon's proven himself big time, isn't he?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, man, those short sellers, they got destroyed, man.
Yeah.
And they could have been right. I mean, Tesla could have gone under, but that's the thing. That's the other thing that now that really changed the whole dynamic was Tesla made it past that certain part where now with the stocks going up so high, they have so much money that they can do anything. If you give a person $1 trillion, they can figure out how to make self-driving work.
Yeah. Enough money, out, for sure.
Enough money, you can figure out anything. And now Tesla has enough money to figure out anything. So the odds are they're going to make it work. And the odds are Elon Musk is going to be the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Dave, great idea. Put down your $100 and do a video on that as well on the Cybertruck. Definitely do it. So what's the best piece of business advice that you've been given, Curtis?
That's a tough one. It's like usually when people give me business advice, I usually don't pay attention to it until after I've made the mistake. And that's when it really matters. But it's good to hear it. It's good to hear it. The guy tells you, don't do this ever. And then I go and do it, and then I pay the price, and then afterwards I'm like, that was good.
Yeah, you're right. Proven.
I'm unfortunately from the train of thought that you just have to make the mistake yourself to learn. But it's definitely good, good to hear the advice and to try to learn the advice and try not to make the mistake. But I mean, we're humans, and a lot of times if we just don't get it, we're going to have to see it to believe it. We're going to have to feel the pain for the advice to really sink in. But I mean, my dad had a lot of really good advice when I was younger about what's the most important thing, son. Those base principles of, productivity over image. He really hounded that into me because he was a real big believer in it's more important what you do, not what you look like.
Yeah.
As far as like
words, man. Yeah.
Right. And stuff like that. So a lot of those things were my base principles when I started off, which really helped me get to the next level. It's always good to start off with a basic understanding of logic and how to be a productive human being and how to succeed in life. And then from there, make mistakes and then learn from them and try not to make the same ones over and over.
What's the worst bit of advice that you've been given?
That's another tough one.
Sorry.
When people tell me things, it's like I've seen so many times where someone will tell me something and I'll think, oh, that's correct, and then I go and I check it and I find out it's not correct. So it's like it's difficult for me to believe when someone tells me something that they're correct without doing my own research. So it's like I don't, I haven't really followed a lot of bad advice.
Good. What's your definition of being successful?
My definition of successful is basically is just setting a goal, and it could be any goal. It could be a simple goal, and working towards it, and actually seeing that you're going to achieve even small. I mean, even if you're just working a little tiny job, and your goal is I'm working as a sandwich maker, and I want to be the manager, and you've moved from the sandwich maker to the shift leader. You are successful because you are on the track to where you want to be.
Yeah. You hit the goal, you've accomplished it, and you're happy with it. Go for it.
Exactly. And
right.
That's like, one of the things that helped me get to the next level is I just constantly was moving to the next level. I mean, I started off as, the day laborer working, shoveling, digging ditches. And then it's constantly just like, well, I want to be the next, I want to learn everything I can here and then move on to the next job. And I got bored, it's like I got fired from jobs because I was like, I know everything. And I was that wise, I'm trying not to use bad words. I was the idiot young guy who knew everything that was super talented. And I did know everything. I mean, I got fired from, I was working for American Express, and it was a company that outsourced for them. It's called ATC. And I knew everything. And I was the most knowledgeable guy there in the entire company, on the floor. And, they hired people and put them on top of me that didn't know anything, and they all came to me and asked me questions, but they wouldn't promote me because they basically only promoted women and other individuals that, don't look like me. So eventually I became bitter, and I lost the job because I became a know-it-all, and I was bored too. It's like I didn't care. It was the best thing that happened to me was for me to lose that job. I mean, sometimes, guys, failure is.
Dave just said it too. Sorry.
Yeah. Best thing to do is, failure is a good thing. Sometimes because it's like if you're just not at the right place at the right time, you need to move on to the next thing.
Yep, definitely. You ever plan upon retiring? You got plans for it?
I have already retired, and I suggest everybody retire early, spend 2 years, contemplating life, become a philosopher. I think it's very important for your brain, and I feel like you really, it really opens your mind to the whole world and everything. So. But, it's like eventually you're going to want to go back and do something. You're going to want to create. I think human beings should create. I think there's different stages in life, but I don't think I'm ever going to fully retire and, just sit on a boat and do nothing. I'm going to do something creative or sell around the world. Actually, I think someday when I'm like 80 years old, I'm going to take my solar boat and sail around the world, but I'll probably be doing YouTube videos and making money.
All right. So describe yourself 5 years from now, not like, 30 or 40 years from now. Describe yourself 5 years from now. What's Curtis doing 5 years?
5 years from now?
Yeah.
Obviously I want to have 5 or 6 YouTube channels. I want to have 5 or 6 TikToks, probably be living in a $2 million house with a Lamborghini.
Nice.
I'll probably have a yacht on the ocean. I'll probably have the same boat I have now in my little lake, and I'll be doing basically doing YouTube, and I'll be buying more real estate so I can move to the next level. And basically, just moving to the next level is just a progression of getting. It's not because there's an end goal. I don't necessarily need more than like. Really, I have everything I need to really be happy. But at the same time, though, it's like I have a bunch of friends that own yachts at the marina that I'm at, and they're all richer than I am. So I'm the poorest guy there. It's one of the reasons why I say I'm a poor millionaire. All my friends are richer than me, by a lot, you know?
Yeah, but if you're happy, you know, you're having fun doing every day Saturday for you, having a great time. That's so what, you know.
Well, like I said, I think happiness is the accomplishment of goals.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, for some of us, you know, we've accomplished so much that we just have to accomplish something even more crazier than the last thing we did. So that's why it's like, you know, it's like you have to, I mean, because like that's one of the ruts that I got stuck into when I kind of retired. Is I had a beautiful house. It's amazing. It's remodeled. It's got granite countertops. It's beautiful. It's, you know, nice and big house, plenty of room. I got Escalade. I got a boat. You know, I've got money to go on vacations. I go anywhere I want, anytime I want, and I don't have to work. So most people, you can be really happy just with that, but there's not really success in that. I don't feel like if you're not setting goals and doing things, I don't feel like you're going to be happy, or I can't be happy. I can be happy for a while, but eventually, you know, it's like I need to go out and, you know, do something productive and reach a success.
Yeah, a sense of accomplishment and growth, I guess, for you. Good for you. Let's talk about TikTok for a second. Your channel's doing well. Your channel's doing great. What's it called on TikTok? Your account profile, what?
Well, my TikTok channel is a little bit of a deviation, but it's a crazy channel. I started about a month ago, probably, I don't know, a month and a week, a month and 2 weeks. And it's just old videos from last summer. And it's not actual videos that I shot for TikTok. And it's already skyrocketed to 15,000 followers, which is massive when you think about it. But TikTok is just exploding. Right now, TikTok has 500 million viewers per month, whereas Instagram has 1 million viewers per month. Now we all know about Instagram. We all know of a ton of people on Instagram that are making money, right? But TikTok organic growth right now is super high. So you know TikTok is going to be making money sooner or later for people who are on TikTok as well. But it's also, you know, just like on Instagram, you use Instagram. If you're Instagram famous, you could use that to funnel viewers to your YouTube, and then you could get your ad revenue, or you could build your brand and sell merchandise. So it's the exact same principle with TikTok. Is I'm going to build, because you know you have to look at your talents and look at what do you have available that people want to look at. What's going to get eyeballs to your channel and get people interested in you. Why should they listen to you? You know, why would I listen to this guy I don't even know? How do I get to know him, and how do I get to engage with him, and why is his content worth looking at? Now, some of you guys, you're going to go look at my TikTok and you go, this is way too crazy, right? And it is a little crazy, but you know, it's entertaining. It's basically Dan Bilzerian. And you know, and I'm going to tell you this, like, and this isn't boasting because I don't like to boast, but on this lake Lake Louisville, I mean, I basically am Dan Bilzerian on this lake. And I have just a ton of friends that are girls, and I have a yacht, and they all come out on my boat. And we all, and you know, and I've built that up over time. It took me like 5 years to get all that. And basically what I did was I basically created an environment where girls wanted to come out, hang out with me. I'm always sober. I'm like one of the only boat owners that doesn't drink when he's out there. I take care of everyone. It's a safe environment. The girls love coming out. They can party and be safe, and everybody goes home. So they tell their friends, they tell their friends, they tell their friends, and pretty soon, you know, I've got a boat full of like 30 to 40 girls almost every single Saturday. And you put that on video, and when I drive around them, you know, around the lake, I mean, everybody's looking at me going, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
I feel like I said, I'm going to do the drone shots and the snaps, and we're going to do the TikToks. And TikTok has they do these dance videos, right? Where they do like in the movies, and then they'll do like a little dance thing and little skits. Well, all my friends are gonna get. I've already done like one of those skits. It's on my. Actually, I didn't put it on my Poor Millionaire account, but I put it on the other one. It just wasn't as good. But I'm gonna do all the skits that you would do on TikTok on that, and I'm gonna get people following me. And I guarantee you, by the end of summer, I'll have a. It's just an easy way for me to get 1 million eyeballs looking at me. And then I can translate out, even at 1% or 2% or 5%, I can translate it over to YouTube and build my brand and build my channel. If you look at what Logical Finance, that guy has done amazing with the TikTok, and it's just finances. So I'm going to do a TikTok that's just finances as well. I saw that's one reason why I was like, I got to take this thing seriously. He's got 100,000 subscribers. He started his account in September. And he's doing, and it's just him talking in the mirror or him talking to a computer screen. It's nothing fancy or exciting. It's no Lamborghinis or anything. And he's picking up followers. So, and like I said, I'm going to treat it like a business, and I'm going to do the editing. I'm going to make it look good and make it look sharp. And I feel like, and you got to look for opportunities, guys. I don't think TikTok is going to be for everyone. You might want to look at, LinkedIn has got huge organic growth right now. I just don't see how it's going to fit in with what I'm doing. But if I didn't have TikTok, I'd be on TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook. And basically, I mean, it's like you obviously you got Twitter. I know a lot of YouTubers use Twitter to spread out their videos because, a person's out there looking on Twitter, they find your video and then they come watch your video. And then there's a lot of Facebook groups that are sending videos. So everything is to get viewers to look at you. And then right now, and what I did was Gary V obviously is a big component of this. He said TikTok and LinkedIn have the highest organic growth right now. Well, that makes perfect sense. Like I said, I've done a ton of research on this. And if you want organic growth is what we all want. You don't want to have to pay for views, right? You want organically people looking at you and your product and liking you. And if they look at you, they like you, and they watch your video, they follow you, you're going to get ad revenue, or you're going to build your brand, you're going to sell merchandise.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Gary Vee's a big advocate. He really promotes TikTok.
Yeah.
Huge right now, big time. Let's go through a typical day for you, Curtis. What do you do? Typical day for you looks like what?
It's like I've been super lazy lately. That's one of the reasons why my channel's not working. Like I said, I mean, I don't have a day job, so I don't have to get up to go to work, which is tough. I mean, guys, it's that's one of the reasons why I'm hiring a person is because when I hire a person, it's like it's really weird when you're a business owner and you have to hire someone, because when I'm paying someone to work, I make sure they're working, and by making sure they're working, I'm working. Yeah. It's a weird dynamic when you get independent, Willie, you have the money to pay yourself and you don't have to go into a job. And like when I had my other video editor, I actually worked the full 40 hours or more. But now it's like I've been lazy. I mean, I also I run some other stuff too. I run a trust and I run my real estate, but my real estate is usually 4 or 5 phone calls a day. Every once in a while, I've got to drive down and look at a house or something. It's not a lot because I already have people working for me, doing all the stuff, changing. I don't change toilets, or I've actually really never have. I mean, I just hired people in the neighborhood to do it. I never had the time.
You're doing the property management. You're overseeing the management yourself. You're just finding the people to actually do the actual work.
Originally, I would hire just homeless people to work. Really, I mean, because they were like, "Hey, I'll work on this for $20."
Amazing. Yeah.
So I mean, you just word of mouth, and then now I currently have the lowest amount of people I always have on payroll is usually about 4 guys that I'm paying payroll that or they're contractors that are always working for me nonstop. They're fixing toilets, fixing leaky roofs, remodeling houses. But I get up as high as if I have a lot of remodels, I'll start hiring people, and I'll get up as high as 10 guys working simultaneous, fixing, remodeling. And I've gone through all my houses. Every once in a while, I'll go through all my houses and just remodel everything because when it was $500 worth of rent, I could do peel and stick. But now a lot of those houses are now $1,000 worth of rent. So now I've got to put in ceramic tiles, and I got to put in higher end appliances and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you value most in other people?
That's a tough one. I mean, obviously, I think I think honesty obviously is just it's paramount. You know, getting people to tell you what they're really thinking is the hardest thing. You know, it's even hard for you to get me to tell you what I'm really thinking because I'm going to
Oh, you
filter
some questions, like you said, quite well.
right.
You're doing a good job.
I'm going to filter everything, you know, for who I'm talking to, and how I want to come across. So I think, you know, just people being honest with you, telling what they really think is probably one of the best qualities as far as just dealing with, you know, dealing with people.
Yeah. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Man, that's a hard one too.
You want some time to think about this one?
Let's see. I'm just gonna try to figure something out. You know, I'm cocky. You know, you know, it's like I try to hide it as much as humanly possible because I know being cocky is not, it's not a good people skill. I am good with people. I'm good with managing people. So that's probably one of my 3.
Good.
And then I think really the strongest thing is I am a strategist. I love strategy and I love thinking about how things are built, how things work, how I can make something successful. That's how I've how you win really is strategy and just constantly checking your strategy. I am a huge strategist. I've gone into so many different things where other people were just doing incredible things that I thought were never going to be accomplished. I couldn't accomplish, and other people thought I couldn't accomplish. But just by strategy, even though they're more talented, they're better looking, they're smarter, they've got a long they have a long, they're way ahead of you. But if you've got the right strategy, you can beat anyone, no matter how talented, pretty, smart. As long as you figure out the better strategy, you will win.
Plan. Who do you admire the most?
Right now, Elon, obviously.
Yeah.
Elon.
Apart from Elon right now.
Well, I mean, obviously Jeff Bezos is killing me right now with this Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate, you know, it's like I hated Walmart because, you know, it's like you had to buy everything there, and they put all these guys, all these mom and pop businesses out of work. So I hated Walmart, but I still went there. Now I order from Amazon, and I hate Amazon because, you know,
Yeah.
basically it's so convenient you have to buy from them, but at the same time though, you're making Jeff Bezos billions and billions and billions of dollars, and you're putting out all these companies going out of business because of him, and it sucks because, you know, it's like I feel really bad for these small businesses that are, but I mean, you know, it's like that you have to admire that because I was around, you know, it's like I'm really much older than I look. And I was around when Amazon came out and all that, the whole internet thing. I was right there. I could have been Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? I was in the working. I had an online business. I did it. I was selling online. I could have been Jeff Bezos. So it's like, you know, missed opportunity.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But come on, you're doing great as it is. You're doing great as it is in other areas. So what's one thing you own that you wish that you didn't?
My old boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, man, that I love that old boat. I mean, that old boat. The only reason why I bought the new one was, well, a couple of reasons. I mean, I wanted a little bit bigger, and my new one's got better air conditioning. It's got 4 air conditioners instead of like one crappy one. And then the people at the marina were just like constantly, you know, looking down on me and acting like I was poor. And I'm like, you guys, you know, you just don't know, you know. And I wouldn't correct them or anything because I'm not boastful.
Yeah.
And people would get mad at me because I'd have all these beautiful girls on my little crappy boat, and they'd have a smaller yacht, and they'd be like mad at me. They'd be like, why do you have so many beautiful girls and
Yeah.
crappy boat? So
Yeah.
have a nice boat. Now they can all say it's only because he has the crappy boat now.
Yeah.
The only reason why the girls go out there is because of that boat. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Of course. Nice. Good answer. When are you most productive, do you think?
I like to think I like to think at night I'm most productive.
Yeah.
But I really need to work. I really need to work on getting more productive in the morning. I've never been a morning person, and I don't know if that's because I'm lazy. I don't know if that's because I have allergies. But it's just like I just the hardest part of my day when I owned a company was just getting to work on time. But I mean,
Really?
I just stay up work. I stay up late working. So I think I think it's just an illusion. I don't think it's real. I think you can be productive anytime when you get in the zone. And guys, that's how you like when you get that workflow and you get in the zone, you can become productive anytime as long as you're awake, as long as you're rested. Get a little caffeine, but my natural tendency is to say at night because that's usually when I start getting in the zone. Just because nothing else is going on. There's no kids. There's no wife. There's no people talking to you, and you can focus on your work.
Yeah, no distractions, no distractions. Well, like I said, I was going to hold you here for an hour. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. So let's start wrapping this up in about 5 minutes. So anybody that was getting involved into real estate now, what advice would you give them?
It's tough to get in real estate, but I would highly recommend that you do. Personally, it's like, I know a lot of you guys are like all about the dividends, you're all about the stock market, but I can tell you from personal experience that real estate is the easiest way to become a millionaire and a multimillionaire because those houses that I own, I guarantee you they're going to double in value again over the next 5 years. So I'm going to be, if I'm worth $3 million right now, I'll be worth $6 million without doing anything, and on top of all that, I'm getting rent from those houses that are paying all my bills. Real estate is it as far as investing.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge you have with the real estate, do you think? Apart from people stealing the wiring.
Usually the biggest challenge is always people. Yeah. It's getting the right person, and you're gonna get and with when you're hiring low end people, you're gonna have thieves. You're gonna have people who are stealing from you, and it's hard to accept that you're paying a person money and they're stealing from you, and they're not, and it's like when you're dealing with low end people, and that's one of the things I don't. That's one. If it was if I had good if I didn't have to deal with low end people, I wouldn't mind it as much working in the hood. That's the biggest problem is the people. I don't as far as the people work for me and the different stuff. Actually, in the other worst one is the city. The city is just absolutely horrible. They always do the wrong thing 9 times out of 10. But just the hardest part is dealing with people and developing people. That's going to be and that in any business. But it's easier to find good people when you pay when there's more money to pay people. And you're not working in the hood. When you're working in the hood, you're going to have to deal with people who are on drugs or just got out of drugs or working or just got out of prison. So you're dealing with a lot of people who are down on their luck. And sometimes they make good decisions and sometimes they make bad decisions. And luckily right now I have the best crew. I have a foreman who is a super smart guy and he's doing a really good job and he's phenomenal. I got, it's just like after you filter them out, you hire 10 people and you get rid of 5 and you hire 10 more and you just keep on filtering until you get honest people who that work.
Yeah.
And once you get honest people that work, life is so much easier.
Yeah. Again, you're just creating a great team, right?
Right. Yeah. Developing as a business owner, developing people is the key to success.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Had any bad experiences renting in, the areas that you do?
Just story after story after story.
Yeah. Okay, give us your top 1 or 2. We'll end it off there.
Well, one of the worst stories was that house where the wiring's been stolen 5 times out of it. We finally had to wire it under the floor to prevent, and he still can get to wire. and he'll still take wire out of it, but it saves us more time because we don't have to wire the whole entire house now. We just have to wire a couple runs to take the wire that he took out. The other is fire. Fire is the most dangerous thing because when a house gets fire damage, then it's unrented, and then it takes you time to fix it up and re-rent it. And then the next major, I got two more major problems. The next major problem is the city. The city just sometimes just like they want to come and yell at you, even though I've got so many long stories, but it's hard to explain how government people will go to a person who's doing what they ask. I do everything they ask. I do it when they ask. I have a crew. I'm not. I am a slumlord, but I'm not a slumlord that doesn't take care of things. So it's like when they ask me to fix something, I fix it, and it gets done. So it's like, but they'll ask me for just silly stuff that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, or they ask me to go and make sure that a renter does their dishes. It's just ridiculous. They're like, this person needs to do their dishes. I'm like, I, as a landlord, can't enforce a tenant to do their personal dishes. It's like, that's
strange.
And then the other thing they like to tell me to do is like, I need to make sure that a tenant's not selling drugs. And I'm like,
again,
and here's
yeah.
The worst situation to be in here is okay, the city's telling me that I have to evict this tenant because they think the person's selling drugs, right? Well, if I go to the eviction court and I evict them and I say this person's selling drugs, you know what the judge is going to say? He's going to say, where's your proof? And I don't have any proof. We just think they're selling drugs, right? So I can't evict them, but the city's telling me to evict them. So really the city's asking me to violate the law because they don't care. They don't care. They want me to do what they want me to do because they have a feeling, right? And they want me to keep, and it's like, the only way I can prevent these people from selling drugs is I've got to go down there with the gun, like the police, which is their job. And it's like, and if you think they're selling drugs, why don't you have the police go there, buy the drugs, and arrest them?
Yeah. Yeah. Tough obstacle. The city can
be
a tough obstacle at times.
So that the city, and then the last part is the evictions. But luckily, evictions in the state of Texas aren't too bad. Like California, I wouldn't even want to live. I wouldn't even want to try to do real estate in California with the evictions of how it could take 6 months to get a person out. Luckily in Texas, we can get them out in 30 days. But every once in a while, somebody plays the system and they stay for 60 days rent free. Or that is the big one. It's just, someone living in your house and not paying you rent for 60 days. It's painful.
Yeah. Yeah. They have more rights than you sometimes, unfortunately. So, yep, those are obstacles, that's for sure. But all right, anything else you would like everybody here in our community to know about you, or advice you want to head off, give off to them before we head on out here, Curtis?
The one thing that's really surprised me is when I got in this community, I was just really shocked at all the support. I was really shocked at all the people who were watch your videos, make good comments, and just a whole bunch of really good people who are putting out good content. It's nice. It's like a bunch of buddies. It's like a family. And I just want to thank all you guys for watching my channel, and thank you guys for, being supportive of each other and just being positive and growing. Like you said before, we just all grow together, and it's just a matter of time before we're making a living. And then hopefully we can build, a few of us will make it into the Graham Stefans and meet Kevins of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a great bunch of people here. So, and welcome to our community, buddy. So let's just keep growing. We're helping each other, working together. And like you say, get to that level. And I'm sure all of us will. So just stick in there. So anyways, guys, everybody, thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Lots of fun. And see you Thursday for Creator Talk and next Tuesday again for Hang Out With. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.